Skin Hideaway 7T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could do your boy solid, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. What's good, Big Dog Willie? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Big Dog Willie. I want to have a boxing conversation with y'all real quick. It's a bit of an informational tea as well, right? Rumor report, right? Getting out, where it is, right? Word that's being passed around, right? That Jaime Munguia and Triple G are setting up for a bout to happen June 10th, right? And news that we really don't care about, right? But when that rumor broke, right, or that news broke, the information broke. Not really sure if y'all heard it, but I heard it. This is me telling y'all, right? If y'all have heard it, or if y'all haven't, right? I'm gonna tell you anyway. Triple G and Jaime Munguia, right? Rumors been surfacing word around town, right? Is that June 10th, Triple G versus Jaime Munguia, right? Now the first part to that is news that I don't care about, right? But the second part to that, the second part to that got me thinking, right? So you mean to tell me Triple G, the the former unified champion at the 160-pound division, Triple G was the unified champ. Exactly, Big Dog. Triple G was the unified champ at the 160-pound division. He just took on Canelo at 168, and he lost, right? But that had no effect. That had no effect on him at 160. After that fight, Triple G decided to let go of his IBF belt. Triple G decided to let go. He first decided to let go of his IBF belt, right? And then the WBA mandated Triple G to have to face Israel Lara for the WBA belt as a mandatory, right? So Triple G decided to let go of that belt as well, right? So Triple G let go of the first belt, his IBF mandatory, because he said he wanted to make big fights, and the IBF mandatory wasn't a big enough fight for him. So that part I understood, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Triple G don't want to fight the IBF mandatory because, like he said, that's not a big fight. That's not what he wanted to make. That's not the type of fight he wanted to make at this stage in his career. So I'm guessing, right, he leaning towards Israel Lara. Israel Lara is a bigger name, you know what I mean, than the IBF champ. So Israel Lara could check that box, you know what I mean, as a bigger fight, right, a bigger name fight. And then he decided to let go of the WBA belt, right? He let go of the WBA belt. Now, that I didn't quite understand either, right? I like, why would you let go of the WBA belt when, you know, that's your last belt? And that's attached to an Israel Lara fight, which is a big fight. That's what you said you wanted, right? So then Eddie Hearn came out and said that Triple G was open to fighting Jamal Charlo, right, at 160. He said that he was open to fighting Jamal Charlo at 160. So I was like, well, okay. Well, that's why you let the WBA belt go. So I was like, okay, so well, that's why you let the WBA belt go too, right? Because you don't want to fight Israel Lara, right? You want to fight an even bigger fight at this point in Jamal Charlo, right? And then about yesterday evening, you know, close to the nighttime, right? I get something that come across my wire. One of my guys hit me up, right? One of my sources, right? One of my sources hit me up, right? And he tell me that it's looking like Triple G. He telling me that it's looking like Triple G and Jaime Munguia go be fighting next on June 10th. And the first thing that came to my mind was, why the heck would Triple G fight Jaime Munguia when Jaime Munguia don't have a belt, right? And then it hit me. And then it hit me on top of that. Wait. Jaime Munguia also, you know, decided to go a different route when it came to his fight with Jamal Charlo, right? I don't know if y'all remember, right? But if y'all remember Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia were supposed to fight after Canelo Alvarez. What's good, MP? What the fuck? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, MP. Glad you can make it. If y'all remember correctly, right? Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo were supposed to fight after Canelo Alvarez chose not to fight Jamal Charlo. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all see where I'm going? Y'all see where I'm going here? Y'all see this? So, so you got Triple G and Jaime Munguia, right? Now it's being rumored to fight on June 10th, right? You both guys who just hinted at being open to fighting Jamal Charlo, right? And then all of a sudden, it's leaking that they're about to fight one another June 10th. A lot of people forget that Jaime Munguia also, he said, I hope Munguia KO Triple G ducking ass. Big dog, but hear me out, big dog. A lot of people forget, a lot of people forget that a lot of people forget that a lot of people forget, you know, that Jaime Munguia was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo as well. After Canelo, you know, decided to fight Dimitri Bivol. After Canelo decided to fight Dimitri Bivol instead of fighting Jamal Charlo's second option was Jaime Munguia. You know what I mean? Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo had an option to fight as well. And Jaime Munguia decided not to fight Jamal Charlo. And in the backup plan for Jamal Charlo, they even offered, what's good, Johnny Q? They even offered Jaime Munguia or Carlos Adames fight. And Jaime Munguia turned down the Carlos Adames fight as well. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. I don't really know quite how many of y'all in here right now. On my end, it say 0 people, right? I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. I say 0 people, but you know, I'm gonna make it do what it do. I'll make it do what it do. Regardless, I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. Just long enough to get off all my thoughts. Cause I do want to get off all my thoughts. Well, I want to make sure I say this slow enough to where I get my point across. Right. But Jaime Munguia was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo. You know, after Canelo decided not to fight Jamal Charlo, right? We had Triple G, you know, drop his IBF saying that he wanted to fight bigger fights. So I'm thinking that it's, you know, Israel and Lara. He dropped his WBA belt, you know, said he wanted bigger fights, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, it's Jamal Charlo because you had Eddie Hearn come out and say that Triple G was open to fighting Jamal Charlo, right? But now I know what it is. Looking back at it right now, y'all, I know what it is. And that got me to asking myself, right? So we had Canelo not fighting Charlo for years, right? We got Jaime Munguia not fighting Charlo for years. These fighters, you know, speaking as if they want to fight Charlo and then ultimately not fighting Charlo, right? And it's right. And now we got Triple G and Eddie Hearn, right, putting their name in the Charlo sweepstakes and then deciding to fight Jaime Munguia, right? So they got me to thinking, man, is it a conspiracy out here against Jamal Charlo at the 160-pound division? Because if you really look at it, outside of Canelo Alvarez, the biggest name at the 160-pound division is Jamal Charlo. You know what I mean? The biggest name is Jamal Charlo. If you want to get stuff moving, you want to get ring bells, right? You say that Jamal Charlo, you say that man Jamal Charlo name at 160, right? You say that man Jamal Charlo name at 160. Right. I mean, not Canelo. I mean Canelo. I mean Triple G. That's what I mean. I'm sorry. I said Canelo, right? Triple G. Because Canelo at 168, right? When you talking about 160, right? The biggest name, maybe before Triple G, right? But most definitely after Triple G, top names at 160, Jamal Charlo. If you add, even if you add both of the middleweights, you know what I mean? He's the second biggest name, you know, top three without an argument. Canelo, Triple G, Charlo, you know what I mean? Type deal. So I'm starting to feel like, right, these guys have been calling Charlo's name. Hey, I'm going to get to a big dog. Because this part of the conspiracy. Appreciate y'all slide through. Ricky, what's good, Rick? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Rick. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. We about to get there, though. We about to get there, big dog. You own to something, big dog. We about to get there, right? So you got the fighters, right? You got the fighters, right, who constantly, putting Charlo name in the basket, right? And then going to fight other fights. Now, ironically, you got two fighters, Triple G and Hammond Munguia, who both had put their names in the pot to fight Jamal Charlo, but ultimately decided to fight each other. Kind of got me feeling like those guys' intentions were to never fight Jamal Charlo. They just wanted to stir up the Jamal Charlo name, right? To get the people going, to get the people like us talking about it, get us interested right before they make this fight. It's starting to look too familiar, right? Where in boxing, you have fighters and promoters use other big name fighters and promotional companies, right, as leverage, as fuel to fuel what will be otherwise a lackluster fight somewhere else. You get us all hype about you fighting this guy, and then you end up fighting, not even a lesser name opponent, at least, right? Like Canelo saying that he wanted to fight Jamal Charlo and then ended up fighting Dimitri Bivol. Now that backfired for Canelo, right? And some people will tell you, well, Bivol better than Charlo. But those were the same people telling you that Bivol was boring, he didn't have no power, he was slow, and all that good stuff for all those years, right? But you had Canelo Alvarez, right, using Charlo name, oh, I'm about to fight Charlo, but deciding to fight Bivol. You had Jaime Munguia about the, claiming he wanted to fight Charlo right after the Canelo sweepstakes, right? Remember, Jaime Munguia and Charlo was about to be a thing, and then Jaime Munguia ended up fighting Demetrius Ballard or something like that. You had Triple G using Jamal Charlo name. Oh, I'm gonna drop these belts because I want to fight a bigger name fighter. Eddie Hearn. Oh yeah, Triple G is open to fighting Jamal Charlo. That's a fight that could happen at the end of the year, right? Boom, just to go and fight Jaime Munguia. You get what I'm saying? So I'm starting to feel like that this ain't just a coincidence. I'm starting to feel like it's a bit of a conspiracy towards Jamal Charlo. Now, right, my guy Big Dog just said something. I'm about to go even deeper. Right now. I'm about to go even deeper with the conspiracy, on Jamal Charlo. Now, y'all can say what y'all want, right? Y'all can say what y'all want, but this is just me, right? It's two opponents left. Either Lara at 160 or Carlos Adames at 160, right? For Jamal Charlo. So it's like at this point, Jamal Charlo can't, do much but fight Island Lara, which I think is a good idea. There's unification at 160, right? He got Carlos Adames, who is the WBC mandatory. What's good, PJ's big dog? Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that like button for your boy. I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time, right? Just want to get this off my chest, get this out real quick. Let y'all know how I'm feeling. Let y'all know, that Sudden T feel like he see the play. I feel like I see what's going on. You know what I mean? But not only right do we got the fighters, using Jamal Charlo. Now, yeah, I fight Charlo, boom. I'm gonna fight Bivol instead. Yeah, I fight Charlo, Jaime Munguia, boom. End up fighting Demetrius Ballard instead. Yeah, I fight Jamal Charlo, boom, Triple G. Now, the rumors is that you're about to fight Jaime Munguia and Triple G about to fight each other June 10th. You know what I mean? So that's the use the Jamal Charlo name, right, to boost my fight conspiracy theory, right? The other theory I feel like what my guy Big Dog just said was good, PGH. Like my guy Big Dog just said, I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? They trying to get Charlo to move up to 168. And Charlo isn't against, you know what I mean, moving up to 168, right? He not against moving up to 168, but Charlo has stated that he wanted undisputed at 160. He said he'll move up to 168 in order to fight Canelo. Now, to throw a little wrench in it, Charlo did come out not too long ago and say that, the winner of Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, that he will be open to fight at 168. So if he could get that Benavidez fight at 168, I think Charlo is open to move up to 168. And I think that's what, right? I think that's what the PBC wants, him to do. In the whole, he said, I think Charlo should move up. Obviously, they don't want him at 160. Andrade in our camp is up there. Yep, that is true. That is true. But right, big dog. Big dog. I think right now, Charlo does have that chance to unify the 160-pound division. That 160-pound division is wide open right now. You know what I mean? I think it's a conspiracy at 160 to keep Charlo from getting undisputed, right? And I kind of feel like PBC, right? It makes a lot of sense for the PBC to maybe stage the Benavidez versus Charlo fight because their fight makes a whole lot of money. So I think that they are more inclined also, right, for Charlo to move up to 168. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's a grand scheme to keep undisputed away from Charlo at the 160-pound division, right? But right now, right, everybody's saying he should move up. But right now, I think it's more open for him right now with Triple G dropping their belt and fighting Hammond Munguia, directly, indirectly, right? They opened it up for Charlo. Charlo got the WBC belt. Now the thing with Charlo and him getting undisputed, right? You got Carlos Adames, who is now the WBC mandatory, right? That's also part of the thing where I feel like, oh yeah, they trying to keep Jamal Charlo away from getting that undisputed at 160. Uh, because right, Charlo wouldn't have to fight his mandatory if he's fighting, unification fight. The only champion at 160 right now is Janabek. So Charlo has got a voluntary fight when he get back, but after his voluntary fight, he gonna have to fight a mandatory. So that means he will have to fight Carlos Adames next, and Carlos Adames is going to be, a hell of a task. You know what I mean for Jamal Charlo, right? Are going to be a hell of a task for him. Carlos Adames is a guy at 160 that's been getting ducked. Carlos Adames has been getting ducked at 154 and 160. You know what I mean? So he's a guy that ain't nobody really trying to answer to right now. And I think that they trying to steer Jamal Charlo right on the crash course to Carlos Adames. But if I'm Jamal Charlo, I'm fighting Israel and Lara for that WBA belt, right? Unification. And if I'm Jamal Charlo, I'm coming right back and I'm fighting Janabek, you know what I mean, for that WBO belt, you know what I mean, unification, right? People people like to say Jamal Charlo, fight once a year. Jamal Charlo ain't had a fight. Well, it takes two to tango. Let's really think about the fights that Jamal Charlo has been trying to make. Let's really think about the fights that Jamal Charlo has been trying to make, right? Him and Canelo, that was a big deal. Everybody was ready for that fight. Canelo chose Bivol, right? Right after the Canelo and Bivol, right after the Canelo and Jamal Charlo situation, when Canelo chose Bivol, he went straight to Jaime Munguia. Him and Jaime Munguia actually got into negotiations, but Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I mean? He basically outpriced himself with that whole Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo. He wanted the PBC to do all the promotional work, but he still wanted to take half the profit from the PBC. He's the one, that stopped that fight from happening in the beginning with Mal Charlo and Jaime Munguia. That fight was almost on the dotted line, and then like classic Oscar De La Hoya, a lot of bull crap was thrown out there to cause a rift, and the fight fell through. Now you move up to Triple G. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight Jamal Charlo. You got Eddie Hearn saying, "Oh yeah, Triple G and Jamal Charlo at the end of the year, make it happen." Now Jaime Munguia and Triple G about to fight, right? Now Jaime Munguia and Triple G about to fight each one another instead. You got Carlos Adames, who's the WBC mandatory, right? So he's next in line behind Charlo. I feel like it's a whole big conspiracy theory right now, man, to keep 160 away from Jamal Charlo or to make it as difficult as possible. You know what I mean? I feel like at this point, what's good, BC? Asante L. Appreciate you sliding through facts, Asante L. The man been getting ducked his whole career. He's a David winning that fight with a UD. Open my eyes. Low key. Yep, David winning that fight. UD. Really just it stamped it for me, dog. I think Charlo knocked that man out, right? But I digress, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. Just wanted to come and rap to y'all know about that real quick. Drop that news on y'all. Hammond Munguia, Triple G, June 10th. I feel like it's a bunch of weird conspiracy shit going on with Jamal Charlo, right? You know what I mean? But I'm ready to see Jamal Charlo get back in the ring and to see who he go fight next. Hammond Munguia ducked him, Triple G ducked him, Canelo ducked him, and they'll tell you the whole time that Jamal Charlo ain't fought nobody. But I ain't gonna keep y'all too long, man. Skinny Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.